If you know me, I am not a huge skincare person. I'm more into lasers, fillers, things that really make what I consider a bigger effect. But we know skincare is supplemental. It's something that's gonna help your patients. And so I encountered this from a friend, and I tried it skeptically, and I was like, what the hell is this? So I started doing more diving, and we'll get into the science behind it. But BioPlus, if you guys don't know, as I'm getting into a lot more Korean stuff, is a big company in Korea. They manufacture actually fillers, they manufacture a lot of things, and they're really into biotech. So this is what this lecture is gonna be about. If you know me, I've been in the industry about 22 years. I do a lot of training, and I have a lot of clinics in the Southern California area. We're talking about the Bonyx today, and the key technology and some of the products that are related with the key technology. So Bonyx, if you realize what we're talking about aging, you get the body has over 60 to 100 trillion cells. We rely on growth factors. You guys are very big into the growth factors. PDGF is out there. We're talking about the exosomes and all of those things that are out in the marketplace. And the growth factors play a big role in remodeling the tissue. It's our largest organ in our body, right? The skin absorbs everything. But at the end of the day, our skincare also sits on the top layer of the skin. And the biggest thing in the skincare world is how do you make your products actually penetrate deeper into the tissue? How do you get it to the dermis level where you're going to get the activity? And Bonyx is one of those answers. It's a recombinant technology using two different peptides that they add to their molecules that you're trying to do, growth factors, and of course the light chain, to actually increase the half-life in the tissue, but also to move it through the cell membranes. This is one of the few products I'm like, wow, that actually is really, really cool. And we'll see what they have done in their pilot studies and what they have done in fluorescing studies. And with this, you're going to be able to increase your hydration status, increase the actual remodeling cycle of the tissue by getting the growth factors down to the tissue plane that we want it to be, which improves your wrinkles, improves the elasticity, and actually causes you to get that glassy, glowy skin that all of you guys want that you see on the Korean soap operas. All right, so key technology for BioPlus is a growth factor peptides. You have your EGF, so EGF, IGF, insulin growth factors, your VEGF, your vascular endothelial growth factors, the PDGFs. And then the two molecules that you see, the AUT and the BMTS, we're going to get into that. Anti-ubiquitination technology, which will extend the half-life of the actual product itself or whatever it's tagged to. The growth factors, the light chain, it will actually preserve it so it doesn't get broken down by our skin. Because our skin has a lot of protection, right? The top layer has a security system, an alarm system, and that blocks a lot of things from actually getting inside. So even though it's liposomal, nanosomal, does it actually penetrate through that top layer and actually stay in that without the skin actually breaking it down? BMTS is the other one, is the biotransport, biomaterial transdermal system. This is an actually cool peptide. It actually moves the product through the cell membrane, so it actually moves it into the cell and out of the cell. And so we'll see a little bit more about this. They have their technology patented, and they actually have attached these two peptides to different molecules that actually make a huge difference. So your IGFs, your EGFs, your keratin growth factors, you can see your PDGFs, they attach it to hyaluronic acids. They even attach it to the light chain of the Botox molecule. And so we're going to talk a little bit more about that in the future. But to get into the actual peptides, and we're talking about the actual technology of it, how does the AUT work? Well, the AUT, if you apply it, and this gets a little complicated, but if you think about this, this is the tagging system by your body to say, that's actually trash, get rid of it. And so what it is the E3 ligase is the actual tagger, and the ubiquitin molecule is the tag to say it's trash. So once the tag gets tagged onto the actual molecule, whatever it is that's going into the skin, and the body recognizes, the proteozymes actually eat it up. Okay, and so what the AUT does, it actually blocks the E3 ligase from actually attaching on to the actual product itself, so the body can't recognize it as trash, and therefore it increases the half-life of the actual product in the skin. So what they've done, if you look at this, if they've done studies where they actually took fibroblastic growth factor, insulin growth factor, and they've tested it in the skin level when it has no AUT added to it, and when they actually added AUT. And you can see that with the added AUT, it actually extends the half-life and the viability of these growth factors to make its activity known in the skin itself. Okay? They've done it for fibroblastic growth factor, VEGFs, PDGFs, all of the growth factors out there that they're able to tag. They've done that, and they've documented that it does increase the half-life of these growth factors in the skin. There's the definite patents that they have with regards to that. And then we're moving into the other molecule, the other peptide. This is the BMTS molecule, and so this one is the one that takes the actual product, the growth factor, whatever you attach it to, and actually pulls it into the cell. It moves in through the cell membrane, not through endocytosis, but the actual BMTS attaches to a receptor onto the cell membrane, and actually moves it in and out of the cell, and so it actually distributes it and moves it deeper into the tissue, which allows for all of this cargo that it's carrying to actually penetrate deeper into the dermis tissue plane. So if you can see from the fluorescing studies in comparison of the general growth factors, and this is with some of their actual skin boosters that they have that you can microneedle with it, you can see there is an increase in fibroblastic growth factor down by 166%. When you actually take the Clostridium botulinum toxin, if it stays on the skin, it stays on the skin, which you can see it actually can increase its penetration down into the dermis by 189%. IGF 200%. So with this added BMTS, you're able to take these growth factors and these molecules and actually penetrate it deeper into the tissue plane where we want the actual effect of this of the skincare. So there comes Bonyx. So if you guys have not seen it, you can actually come and find me later, and I can do a little drop onto your hand, and you actually have a sample in the bag that you guys have. Please try it out. One usage was actually good enough for me to go, this is actually something very, very cool. These are the actual active ingredients in this serum. So as you can see, AUT added BMTS, LC meaning light chain of the botulinum toxin. So you're improving, not really getting to the level of the muscle, you're getting to the skin level. So you're actually getting that muscular attachments to the skin to relax out. So you get a little bit more firmness from that aspect of it. You have the fibroblastic growth factor, so you have the growth factors that are repairing, stimulating. You have the SOD, which is there for antioxidation. You have the AH, which is hyaluronic acids, that actually will improve immediate hydration. The adenosine in it, and the niacinamide for brightening, as well as the initial anti-wrinkle effect from the adenosine. So the way they produce this, kind of when I used it, it was kind of like an initial kind of firming, skin tightening, softening with a little hydration, and then it evolved into a little bit better quality skin for me as I continued using it for the next couple of weeks. And we'll go into a reason why. But if you're looking at the serum, what does it actually have? The actual use of a botulinum toxin in it, okay, which is the light chain, as well as all the growth factors. And I think the growth factors, you know, we're always cool. That's light chain, cool. This is a toxin type of effect, but it's really not toxin. It's a very small amount of the light chain to make its effect, but it's really the growth factors and able to penetrate these growth factors beyond just the superficial layer of the skin that is important. So strong anti-wrinkle effects, strong pore improvement effects, and you get the hydration effect and the skin rejuvenation. So easy to use. Literally, you wash your face and the first thing you do is place this on. And the reason why is, as you can see, the BMTS will actually take what you're putting on the skin and actually force it or take it down to the dermal tissue plane. Afterwards, you'll find that your skin feels actually nice and soft and very actually kind of hydrated. You can put your makeup on top of that, or your other creams and other layering after that. But this would be the first thing you would put onto your tissue, okay? So if we're talking about the light chain, what are we really talking about? So existing pharmaceuticals out there, we understand neurotoxin is the heavy chain and the light chain. Heavy chain endocytosis, light chain floats off and creates and blocks that SNAP25, right? Pure toxin like a Xeomin, like a Cortox that they have out there, does not have any of the accessory proteins related to it. This one that they have in it is essentially only the light chain. So that 50 kilodalton light chain is really what it is. They added the BMTS to help that skin penetration, as well as the nerve cell transmission. So this does get into that nerve cell because the BMTS actually moves it in through the cell membrane wall. And you can kind of see on this, the little fluorescent, if you can see, it does penetrate through the keratinocytes right here. And then this is the actual additional of that BMTS. So the first one is your control. The second one is just the light chain, just topically. And then the third one is topically added with it, the BMTS. The next one, the pictures are the actual penetration into the actual nerve cell itself. So control, you can see it doesn't really get anywhere. The light chain sitting on the skin does not get anywhere. But by adding the BMTS, you actually showcase that it actually is starting to enter into the nerve cells themselves. Okay, pretty cool, right, for skincare. Really, 2 weeks after using it, what they've had and shown into their pilot study is that the crow's feet showed a 20% improvement. Pretty amazing. It's not just from the light chain portion of it, but it is because they have the growth factors. You're actually getting growth factors that have longevity into your tissue that actually make the effect of what it's supposed to do. They actually show glabellar wrinkle reduction. So you see improvements in the glabellar by 12%. And this is just skincare. Okay, and this is only 2 weeks of usage. This isn't a long-term 3-month studies that you've seen in other skincare lines. You're like 3 to 6 months to see these results. They actually have in their brochure, within a month, 44% improvement in elasticity in the skin, 22% improvement in hydration and thickness. So there's a lot of data that's still coming out with regards to this, but from the initial data, we're starting to see some amazing, amazing results. This one kind of shocked me. Pore size reduction. How many of you guys have pore size and hate your pores? Well, they say one usage, they saw 28% decrease in pore size. I mean, when you're talking about glassy, glowy skin that the Koreans have, I mean, who does not want to have that? We hate how our pore size look. And the cool thing is this does decrease your sebaceous oil production. So I personally am very, very oily. And you know, I had dealt with the acne and stuff like that. I did find that as I started to use this, I don't feel as oily, even though I was doing lasers to control my oil production and everything like that. I did find that utilizing this, I actually was less oily as far as that's concerned. I actually had even a patient of mine actually try it actually on their hands because they were actually a little bit hyperhidrosis, and actually kind of controlled them for a few hours, if not more into the full day aspect of it. So there is hope for this. You know, I'm talking to them about maybe creating something a little bit stronger. Technically, there's a certain amount of toxin in it for each vial that you're getting. They had to balance that out because if you put too much toxin, you're going to dry out the skin as well, right? And we don't want to do that. So they have to find that right balance. And so, I mean, maybe in the future we'll be able to get something for hyperhidrosis using something that's just topical instead of having to inject as much. We'll see. Shine Aura Plus is their version of a skin booster. You know, Koreans are all about skin boosters. This has 18 different growth factors, and all the 18 growth factors also have the AUT and the BMTS technology. They actually call that technology HUGRO Peptide. So if you start hearing HUGRO Peptides, it's HUGRO. HUGRO Peptide is what they're calling this technology that they're adding to the different growth factors and different molecules to actually help it penetrate deeper into the tissue. This one is a combination. One of them is a cross-link HA that you mix in with the actual powder, which has all the 18 growth factors. So it's a dilutant that is in there. So definitely improvement in fibroblastic activity with regards to this. You're going to, with all of these 18 growth factors, you can see there's your transforming growth factors, your platelet-derived growth factors, insulin-like growth factors, all the different things that we are looking for to actually stimulate healthier, better quality skin. You get the hydration deeper because the HA also has the HUGRO peptide added to it. So this is something you would microneedle and then like we would do with all the other skin boosters out on the marketplace. But because this is actually able to penetrate, you're probably going to get this to penetrate even deeper into the tissue planes where you don't actually have to get as aggressive with your microneedling, just get some little, I call it aerate the skin. Then you can take this topically and now you can actually penetrate even deeper and make more effect on your patients than what we have currently with the skin boosters that are out there, because majority of them will probably just sit on the surface, maybe absorb in. This now with your BMTS can actually penetrate even deeper into your tissue planes. Okay. So the key definitely lies in the deep and prolonged absorption. The AUT, remember, extends the half-life of these growth factors so you make more longer effects into your tissue. And then you actually have the actual BMTS that actually helps it go in deeper and actually spread deeper. Because as it's moving in from cell to cell, it's not just one linear path, it's cell and it starts to break off into a more multitude, like a pyramid. So you get more even distribution of this product throughout that deeper tissue plane. All right. And as you can see, a lot of improvements from their studies with regards to even necklines, pore size reduction, just the quality of skin just starts to improve. So this is really, really about improving the quality of skin, really getting you that glassy, glowy skin that we all recognize the Asians, especially the Koreans, are all about, and deeper penetration of them. Okay, I think that is it. So, you know, we're still at booth 441 today. There's going to be a special discount with regards to any purchase of the Bonyx. And if you have any questions, please email Bonyx or info@bioplususa.com. You can always reach out to me. And if you want to try a sample, I do have it here. You can try it on the back of your hand and kind of try one side and kind of take a feel of it. There are samples inside your bags as well for you guys to sample it as well. And it is, remember, this is a skincare. So it's not actually something you have to prescribe. It's something that your patients take home with them. You put on the shelf, you're doing neurotoxin already, and they want to get that more glassy, glowy skin. This is a great supplement to add on that will help extend the skin quality and improve the skin quality faster for the patients. So it's not going to take away your neurotoxins as far as injecting the muscle. This is going to enhance your results of your neurotoxin.